Welcome back to Shocks Talks. I'm Shakti, and this week I'm just going to talk about my experiments, my ongoing consciousness experiments. Last week was a book report on The Others by D.W. Pasulka, and I finished the book. I do have some more thoughts, but I don't think I'll do a whole episode on it. I recommend you read it and leave me some comments. Try to see if you can figure out what her perspective is on all the different topics that she's bringing up in this book. For me, I have a little bit of an idea of what I think it is, but I'm kind of waiting to let it sink in a little bit more, and I might have to go back and reread certain parts because her work is so rich with detail that it's easy to get lost on, a little story and just keep thinking about that or a specific moment or a topic or a concept that was introduced and then it's harder to zoom back out and understand like what is she really saying here. When I read Alien Goddess by Dr. Joanna Kuyawa, I felt like her intent was very clear and her perspective was strong and her message was urgent. And for me, what I took away from that is that we as humans need to continue to cultivate our own humanity and not outsource everything to this technology that we're developing. In Pasolka's book, I felt like it was touching on how the technology might be impacting our own psychic development or our own spiritual development, and how that's really the big danger and the watch out. That was one little part of the book, but there's a lot more in there. So, again, let me know what you think about it. If you've read it, please read it if you haven't, so that we can talk about it. And, um, and that's all I'm going to say about that for now. I'm still working through Nancy Trivolato's energy book. Um, I am still working my way through Adulthood Rights, the second in the Xenogenesis series from Octavia Butler. And I just go in and out of different moods where I want to read fiction or I want to read nonfiction. Most of what I read does contain some kind of anomalous topic or psi related topic. I'm actually about to read a murder mystery, which was written by a woman who is in my energy workshop that I've been taking for a few years now remotely. And I will do a review of that book when I finish it, so I won't even tell you what it's called right now, but I'm excited because she's weaving in themes of like cult dynamics and also psychic abilities into her murder mystery. And of course, those are just fun topics to think about and learn about, but also she has a really informed perspective as a practitioner of energy work herself. So I'm very curious to see how that translates into her creative work, and I'll definitely do a review of it on Shocks Talks when I'm done. Today, I just want to give a quick update on my dream practice. I'm on day 55, and this morning I woke up and fell back asleep and had kind of a beginning of an OBE. I've had a handful of these types of experiences where I either wake up and I'm sort of upside down, and then I realize that I'm upside down floating over my bed, and I immediately snap back. Or I find myself walking out into the living room and start to do something, and then I look and realize there's a window AC unit in the window that isn't normally there, and everything else looks the same, but that's there. And then I realize that I'm dreaming and it snaps me back. This morning, I was laying in bed. My cat came and laid right on top of me, and I reached my arm up, probably to pet the cat, but I was reaching up and over. I could see the cat, I could see my whole body, but my arm, just from the forearm down, was completely gone. And I was so confused because I could feel it. I could feel myself moving my arm, and I was looking all around me and I could see the room. And I was like, oh no, I'm having one of those migraine auras, where you get that flashing light in your eye. I was like, oh, it's just blocking out my arm. But then I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Though those things are usually like a big blotch of light. Why would it just be erasing just my forearm and my hand? Like that from the elbow down, I couldn't see anything. And then I realized, oh my God, this is an OBE. Duh. I've been hearing about this and thinking about this and trying to make this happen. This is that thing. And then I kind of slipped back into unconsciousness and went into a dream state and started having a dream. So I'm still trying to find out if the OBE is what I think it is, which is part of a spectrum of consciousness phenomena that comes in layers, and there are some transitional spaces between them. But thinking about like waking life to imaginary states to visionary states to dreaming to lucid dreaming to OBE, I see all these things on one spectrum. And so I'm kind of trying to move beyond the lucid dream territory into a more interesting consciousness experience. And then ultimately, I want to find out if everybody's stories are true, like Robert Monroe and Tom Campbell and everyone else who's had these OBEs, and not just had one, but has been able to conduct a few experiments out of body. I'm really hoping to do that. We'll see if I can get very far. It's not easy, but it does seem to be happening little by little, and if I keep showing up, I'm sure I'll see more progress. Sometimes life really does get in the way, though. I used to think of developing psi abilities as very similar to dancing, where, there are many factors contributing to whether you're good or not at dancing. Now I'm starting to see the development of psi abilities as more like sailing, because there's another thing at play, and that is the psychic weather. So in sailing, you have the human who has the free will, and I would call that in Psi the free will awareness unit, because that's what Tom Campbell calls it, and I like his terminology. So, on a sailboat, you have the person doing the sailing. They're making the decisions, they're using their energy and their will to make things happen. And then you have the boat, which is the vehicle, and we have a body, that's our vehicle. And then you have what that boat is in, which is the ocean with the atmosphere all around it. And in reality, we have our bodies in physical matter reality with the atmosphere of non physical matter reality all around it. So when you're out at sea, you might be the best sailor ever, but all of a sudden, the direction you need to go is against a current. And then a storm is coming on top of that. So you have two different things at play, the physical and the non physical. And in regular reality, I might be using my will to move forward in my development of my psychic abilities, but maybe my body is a little bit not feeling so well that day. So that's kind of like if my sail had a tear in it, and then I have the water is starting to be a little bit choppy that day. And that's like I go outside and people are just stressed and a lot of weird shit is going on. And it's just not a great day out in the world. And then I stub my toe and then a car honks at me. And, all these little things are happening. That's like choppy waters. But then in the non physical, which is like the atmosphere, around us at all times, there could be other weird influences going on that day that are either trying to help you to the best of their ability, and they're actually saving you from things being worse that you'll never even know were going to happen, because thank goodness the psychic entities and energies around you were interfering. Or maybe they're interfering in a way that's stirring shit up for whatever reason. And even if it's not entities, I do believe that there are just thought forms all around us all the time that are the creation of us as a collective. We are emitting so much all the time, and we're also receiving all the time, and we're processing, but we are contributing with our frequency and our thoughts and the state of being that we are in at any given moment. We are contributing to that psychic weather, and that weather is affecting all of us. All right, thanks for being here. If you want to be part of the Anomalous Study Hall, just hit subscribe and then hit the bell if you want to be notified of every time I post a video. I'll see you next time on Shocks Talks.